Alright, today's class will be steam traps on the Steris Amsco V120. Supplies of V116s, 3000 series, 400/20 series, every Steris sterilizer, pre-vac wall steam that there is. This is your trap valve. It's already taken it off to do the PM on this. This is what the inside looks like. Generally, you get a PM kit. It comes in a nice little plastic tray here. So, to take this off, depending on when the last time these were taken off is, you may need to get a little extra torque in there. Channel locks by itself, adjustable wrenches might not be enough, and you have to double wrench it so you don't tear the crap out of everything else. Here in the Century, we are connected to the jacket right there, that fitting. And then we go over to this little T-fitting over here. That 5/16 copper tubing is missing because it needs to be replaced. Apparently it's a weird size. So anyway, so you just separate these two, double wrench it. Big wrench up here, smaller wrench down here. And it comes off, you get this whole piece out. We'll come back to that. Now you should look down inside, check your seat. If it's in good shape, you can leave it. I chose to replace it because it also comes with the kit. So there's no sense. Doesn't really make that big a difference. Here's the old one. Doesn't look that bad. See, it's a little hammered. Just to give you a little background on it. So the traps, jacket and chamber traps, are designed so that when the unit is off and cooling down, all that steam's going to turn back to liquid. So the trap will actually open and allow that liquid to pass out instead of sitting in the chamber or in your jacket, so you don't have a flooding issue. Now the way this works, much like the bellows on a tabletop, this accordion looking piece right here is a specific type of metal that heats up. When it heats up, it expands. This whole thing stretches out. When it's about 200 degrees or so, reaches down, and this bottom pin here sits in the seat, this hole right here, preventing anything from passing by, steam, water, whatever. Now, when the hot steam, cools and turns back to liquid form, it's cold enough, this contracts and goes back upwards, thereby opening this hole, allowing water to escape. Okay? So hot steam, it closes it off so we can make a good seal, and cold opens up so that we're not stuck with a bunch of water. Because if you have a flooded jacket, you're going to have all kinds of heat up issues. If your jacket's full of water, there's no room for steam, is there? And the amount of time it would take for that steam to reheat the liquid water to turn that back into gas form is a ridiculous amount of time. So, all right. So as for the film, we replaced the seat. Now let's put a little thread tape on the bottom of that. Here's the old one. So there's a little thread tape there. Obviously, there's more than that on there at the time, but this comes off of the thread, so you should get a good pipe brush and clean out the threads. These are, I think, like $6-7 at Home Depot. They're great. You can use in your battery terminals too, but so you can fit you can put a post, 2 different size posts here, or you can put this down in the threading hole, 2 different sizes also. Anyway, so replace that. Next up, take off this copper washer. For that, we're going to clean all this tape off. Then we're going to pull this off. All right. Now, just so you know, the nut, the seat is a 19 millimeter, so good deep socket to get in there. I happen to take this off because it's easier to see down in here. Normally, it would be sitting up here, and it's just a union. See, it's a union nut, so you can easily pull that off. So you can pull this whole assembly out. Depending on the age of the bellows, it tends to tear apart when you go to take it off. So this is what the inside looks like, in case you're wondering. So see how it kind of stretches out. Yeah. Here it is with the bellows removed. So put my little brush in here, clean out those threads. Still working on cleaning this off. Don't put in those little fucks that puts more tape on top of old tape. You end up having with too much tape, and you could cause gaps, and then you've got leaks. So clean it all off as best you can before you apply new fresh tape. And you only need 1.5 wraps. You don't need to go crazy with it. Here we are, freshly rebuilt. There we go. Fresh bellows, fresh copper, fresh thread tape. Ready to go. Put it back together. Now, while reassembling, I noticed these marks. There we go. See this? Shows these are signs of leaks. Whether it's present or past, something that's fixed, I don't know. If there's a crack in here, really screwed. But I'm hoping it's just something with threading, so we're cleaning all this compression tape off. Rethread that, clean the underside. There's the underside of the seat in case you want to see. And then we'll put all that together. There we are, reassembled. Cleaned up some of that. I'm gonna clean this one next. I'll put this back in. There we are, cleaned up. Now if you're wondering why I clean these off, it's for troubleshooting purposes. So in the event that there's a leak, I want to be able to see the signs of a fresh leak and not be looking at old signs, wondering if that's new or not. So we try to clean it off as best as can. If you got a bench grinder with a brush, fantastic. You can make all this look nice and shiny like that. If not, well, this brush or a nice file will do, or some sandpaper will do the job. There we go, a little better. And we're back in place. Minus this 5/16 fittings and pipe, which I will get tomorrow. But there we go. So hopefully all I gotta do tomorrow is put that piping on, place the piping up here, get my exhaust manifold, and I can start running cycles. I don't know why that's missing screws. Anyway, that's it.